Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we are going to be learning about the building gadgets copy and paste tool and getting into some teleportation from dimension to dimension. So I hope you guys are ready. So we're running low on ender pearls, and we're going to need a way to get more ender pearls, and I would like a faster way to get to the end portal, which is way over here. Or even just going to the end. I don't know how well the method that I plan on using today is going to work going cross-dimensionally, but we're going to find out. One thing I do know is we're going to need to move power around. So let's take a look at RF tools. We're going to be spending a little bit of time with RF tools because we want to make some matter transmitters and receivers, get ourselves a way to teleport back and forth, all set up. And I think this is going to be a good way to do that. Now you may be wondering, well, how do you get power to go from one place to another or cross-dimensionally? Well, in this pack, we do have RF tools, or a small version, I guess you can say, of RF tools, as it's not been fully updated. We're missing a lot of things that RF tools does have to offer normally. But at least some of the good things are in here, like the dimensional cell. This thing right here will allow for power to go cross-dimensionally. We do also have the advanced version, which I probably will end up making, as we do have the ability to infuse, because you can just find dimensional shards all over the place in the nether. So first of all, we need to make the normal dimensional cell, which is going to require a bit of redstone. Let's just go ahead and craft all of our redstone up and go ahead and make this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and make two, because we will need two, because we're gonna need one for our main base and one for wherever we're going to send power. Let's go ahead and make two of those, and then let's go ahead and make a few of these diamonds. We're gonna need 8 of them in total to be able to get this going. And there's one, and there's two. The difference between these is just their power transfer rate and storage. One can send a lot more power than the other, and I don't know why the tooltip's not showing the amount, but I think these go up to 25,000 RF per tick, whereas these are 5,000 RF per tick max transfer rate, if I'm not mistaken. And we're also going to also need the power cell card. These are the cards that we're going to use to link these things. So we only need, I think we need 2. I think each of them needs their own card. No, actually, I don't think that's exactly true. We're going to find out. Let's go ahead and hook this up to our power grid. I know our power is kind of weak right now. Don't get me wrong. We are going to upgrade that. That's why I said we are really getting into Botania. But I do want to see how this is going to function. Go ahead and put this expensive thing right here. That should connect to this, and it should be filling up. At least you would think it would. We set it to input on all sides. Now it's filling up. So it's going to take from here, which now has a bar, which is kind of nice. It's upside down, but it's a bar. And it's filling up. Now we do want to link this. It says it's unlinked. So we put it in here. Now it's linked to ID 1. We don't need to keep the card in here, I don't believe. But it is linked to ID 1. And whenever we go to create another one, like this, we just place it down. You see nothing's in here. But if we put the link card in here, it should work. You know what? We're probably going to need 2 link cards, I guess. I knew that was that was going to be the case, potentially. It says it's unlinked. So yeah, I think we only need 1, to be honest. Let's try this again. That's linked to now 2. And we put this in here, that links the ID 2. And then we can throw that in there, and now they're linked. Not only are they linked, they are considered 2 storages for power. So they're both of their power storages combine into 1, which is really nice. And of course we can pick it up. The card still remains inside. And I'm pretty sure the energy also, nope, the energy gets deleted. So yeah, we definitely don't want to be wasting our energy. But this should be able to travel cross-dimensionally. I don't think it chunk loads itself though. That is probably going to be our biggest challenge in this pack, is figuring out how if these things chunk load. Because we really don't have a chunk loader, I don't believe. Yeah, there's like no way to chunk load. So let's go back to RF tools. And we're going to end up needing to make the matter transmitter and receiver. You can see these require a bunch of ender pearls. I don't really have the ender pearls anymore. So I am going to be traveling to the end. But before that, let's make our copy and paste tool. I want to kind of show this off a little bit, because if you don't know what the copy and paste gadget is, it's a really nifty tool. What you can do with it is basically build something in creative in the same mod pack, go into another world, build something in creative, and then you can copy and paste that build with the building gadget, and you can come into your world here and you can paste it into the world, and it'll just automatically build it for you. It's quite a beautiful tool. Not only can you do that, you can do several other things that we're going to talk about here in a minute. So let's go ahead and grab some cobblestone. I'm going to grab some slabs. This should work just fine, because what we're going to do is we're going to copy a selection here. So let's go ahead and build what would normally be our Enderman killer. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just showing you how powerful this thing actually is. I think I built that one too many wide. There we go. So this is normally what we would use to kill Enderman off, because Enderman can't really get to us. And I want to just be able to copy and paste this thing. So if we open up the menu, you can see we have copy and paste settings. We have open GUI, which opens up a menu that lets us change a few coordinates, which we're going to talk about here in a second. But what you can do is say, I'm going to select this point here and then the point on the other side. So I'm going to right click here to set our first position, and then shift right click, just like using any other editing tool. Now this block is going to be here, unfortunately. Another way we could also do this is to select this first point by right clicking, break this block after we've had that first selection done there, and then shift right click here. That's going to copy the area. Now this is the exact copy instead of having a block here. I forgot to mention that at first. Then what we're going to do is go into paste mode. And given that we have the blocks in our inventory, we can just paste this. Now, it is going to be based off of your first selection point. If you do, however, want to change that, you can shift right click on the position, and you can actually make adjustments here to change where this thing is going to be positioned. So if you want it right in front of you, confirm. Now the position that this is going to be placed is right in front of you. And that's just, like I said, shift right clicking. Now, if you want to change this even more, see I'm going here, I'm raising it up. I can bring this one close and be right on the position where I'm looking at. And when you want to paste it, just hit paste, and voila, you've pasted the item. Now, the cool part is if you don't like it, you can just hit the undo button, and the items go right back in your inventory. Super cool. And we're going to use that when we go to the end. Now, I do want to cover a little bit more of the building gadget, just in case you guys are curious and don't understand how to copy your builds and share them. So building gadgets right here, you may be wondering, I can't make the template. I don't know how to do that. Well, we need to make the template manager and then get a piece of paper. So let's take a look at the piece of paper. Now, this is how you would copy this build. You would take your template manager, very simple, just place it wherever you feel comfortable. And inside here, you have your spot for your template name. And then you also need your copy, your building gadget, or your copy and paste gadget. Put your piece of paper in the slot, put your build gadget in here, and then you can see it actually shows the build that you just made. And it doesn't matter how big the thing is, it'll actually copy it. You can create the template name and go Ender Killer and hit save, and then it turns it into a template. Now, if you want to copy this and share this with somebody on Pastebin, you can just hit copy. It will copy a bunch of data to your clipboard, and then you paste it in Pastebin, and that would be how you would share it with somebody. Now, if you had somebody else's Pastebin, you hit load, and it would actually paste it in, which is kind of crazy. Or you hit paste, I mean, and it would paste the information into the template, and it would also paste it into your gadget. It's absolutely crazy, the stuff that you can do with the building gadgets. All thanks to Direwolf. So I think, and Direwolf had help with that, I believe. I just don't remember exactly who helped him with the mod. But still, pretty cool. Now we need to go to the end. That was the whole point. We got to get some ender pearls. so we can set up the transportation to make it a bit faster for us, so I don't have to fly back and forth all the time. So what I like to do is find the highest point, and we can just paste in this, and then just go about looking at the Enderman. Of course, it's going to get kind of loud. Just kind of looking at them, and this is how I'm going to get a few Ender Pearls for right now. Later on, we can make a better system, potentially, of killing Endermen. I am using my very good sword here. Also, I can get on this side, and they'll actually go to this area. And yeah, so I'm going to grab a few Ender Pearls, and then we're going to get our teleportation set up. I'm kind of excited. So I did manage to find out what these lovely soul fires do. I mean, we can dye them, I think, any color. So like if I want to make them blue, we can do that. Dye them blue. And then what I end up with is some really cool lighting. I'm not joking, like this is some cool looking lights. And then when you break them, they just turn back into their items. So it is a reusable item. And you get these really nice looking lamps. Pretty cool. All right, so back to what we were actually focusing on. And that was taking our Ender Pearls and using them to make some teleportation. Now I need an area for this. Right here is a pretty decent area. However, I am going to need an axe. Because I do have some storage to take care of. I can probably go ahead and throw most of this stuff in our main storage now, as I do have enough storage. But what I want to do is, I think I want to set my teleportation hub right here, just so when we need it, we're able to just teleport right in and call it good. Well, I hope we have enough storage. We're going to fill everything but my 64K drive. I think that's about it. So yeah, this area is going to be perfect, and I should be able to ore excavate. Yep. Gotta love that. And that gives us a lot of empty space, a lot more room. We do, however, have this here, which can go. We can put that somewhere else to charge our stuff. I still want my energy cable here, though. So let's take a look at what we're going to need. RF tools. Correct. We have a matter transmitter and a matter receiver. And if we take a look at, where is it at? Right here. A charge porter, you can see right here. This is something that allows you to teleport to a previously set matter receiver. So the matter receiver and transmitter are going to be two things that we're going to need for each location. The matter receiver will receive you from a transmitter. You kind of think of it that way. You're also going to need a dialing device as well. And that's going to allow us to connect to another receiver. I don't think we need a matter booster. A destination analyzer is something that you can use. It'll kind of let you know if the receiver has enough power, because if it doesn't have enough power in the other dimension, you'll get a lot of negative effects that could potentially cause you to be killed, which is not good. So we're gonna end up making these things. We should need 4 or 2 apiece, right? And what? We're just needing redstone at this point. Let's make another one. So we have 2 matter transmitters, and we need 2 matter receivers. Perfect. And we're also going to need a dialing device. And we're going to need one of these for both locations. Weird that indigo dye is actually working. So 2 dialing devices. And the dialing device needs power. The matter receiver needs power. So we're going to need some cable. I'm just going to use some energy cable. Even though when you break this energy cable, it doesn't work anymore. Just kind of sad, but that's how it works. I think I want to put the matter. I think all of this is going to need to go down a little bit. Like this ends up breaking. I want the matter receiver and transmitter here in the ground, and then we're going to need a dialing device on the transmitter. Let's go ahead and place the transmitter. Transmitter is going to go here, and then our matter receiver is going to go here. And then we're going to need to power them. Just like this. You can see these both need power. We can go ahead and hook this up and this up. And then we're also going to need a dialing device, which I place right above it. It may look funny, but it also needs power, so might as well have that here. And you can see we're already connected. We can basically already connect to this one over here, this receiver. So the transmitter can right now send us to this receiver. What you could do is name this. So name this home, make it public access, because if we're playing in single player, we don't have to worry about it. And then this is going to be home as well. So when we look here, we can see that this is our transmitter, and this is going to be their destination. If you select this and dial, it will go to that location. But we don't want to go from home to home. We want to go to home to the nether. So let's go ahead and set this back up. I don't know if I have... How much dead wood do I have? Is that going to be enough to cover this whole thing? Probably not. I probably need to invest into some more wood. Yeah, I need to find some more of these trees. But this should work. Also, what we can go ahead and make, which would be really handy. Actually, we could probably just place our charger right here in the center as well. Is that going to reach? Do we need another cable there? Yeah, we need a cable. And then we can just throw the charger right here. Perfect. Okay, so we can still charge things. Like the charge porter. Now, the advanced charge porter, I believe, lets us choose. This is right here. Teleport to a previously set matter receiver. Sneak right click on a receiver to set the destination. Right click, perform and teleport. This should work. Sneak right. This is the same kind of thing. I think the advanced one though lets you change it. For right now, we're just going to make the charge porter. Perfect. And then you just shift right click on the receiver, give it some charge. It's going to charge up and have a bar here. And you're gonna see what this does. It's kind of cool. So if we're anywhere in the world, it will automatically take us to this matter receiver for a little bit of power. And I think it uses just a little bit of power here. So this is always a way for us to teleport back, which is kind of cool. And we'll go to this one, and you can set it to whatever receiver you want. Now we need to set this thing up in the other dimension so that way we can dial back and forth. And this is where we're going to need our dimensional cell. And we're also going to need our receiver, some cabling, and another dialing device. This is going to allow us to teleport there, but we're going to have to make it there first. What are you offering today? An experience charm? Not that worth it. Not that interested. So here's the part that kind of concerns me with this whole setup here. I don't know if this is actually going to work because this is sort of a test. I want to line this up here. And get this sort of set up. Let's just go ahead and break this. This is where I'm going to have my matter transmitter and receiver. All placed like this. So receiver, transmitter. And then in the middle, I'm going to place my dialing device. And let's go ahead and run our cabling. Just like this. Now, here's where, like I said, I don't know if this is actually going to function or not. So I'm going to place my dialing device one tall here, not there. All right, what's hitting me? We got the fish after me. All right, so I'm going to place this right on top. It is down here, didn't it? Boy, these fish just don't know how to leave you alone. Place our dialing device here. And then right down here is going to be our advanced power cell. So it's not actually gaining power. We set this to output on all sides. It is going to disperse power to these. And we can see that we do have access to our home. Okay, so that's good. What we want to do is set to dial. I'll set this to favorite and I'll dial that. When it's dialed, that should work. So we see here, this is the end dimension. We can call this end. End. And it shows up. So right here, we're connected. If you hit dial, dial is okay. If you want to stop the current dial, which you see the green beam, means you're good to go and ready to teleport. Then you need to basically hit interrupt and then select the destination that you want to go to. The only other one we have available though here is to dial to the end, which is this one right here. And we don't want to do that. So what would happen is if we walk through here, we get teleported home. The only problem is this isn't staying chunk loaded. At least I don't think it is. I don't know. It actually is staying chunk loaded. Our power just wasn't chunk loaded. Well, this I think is chunk loading and allowing this to work. So what we need to do here is set this destination to the end. Dial. And now we can go to the end and back. How cool is that? And if we're in the end, I want to make sure this works. This should take us back regardless. Let's start teleportation and we're back home. But it took a lot of power. Oh, wow. Going cross-dimensionally really took a hit on our power on that. So you can pretty much just travel back once. That's pretty cool as well, though. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty sure you can rename this as well. So if you want to name it going back home or whatever you want in an anvil, I'm pretty sure you can name it whatever you want. This is super cool. So this is kind of the fun stuff that I like to show. There's always some like small features and stuff like that you know you might see and you would never even use them. But this right here is well worth it. Saves me from having to travel back and forth over and over again. And we still have several more cool things to talk about while we kind of wait for our mana pools to fill up. Even though these are doing mighty fine. Look at this. We almost have 4 full mana pools. You know how much Terra Steel that is? But the ability for us to get Ender Pearls now is so easy. This thing is almost completely full. That's so much Terra Steel. And I still have so much more to talk to you guys about, including how to manipulate mana and move it around from mana pool to mana pool effectively. So I think we're going to work on that next episode potentially. And yeah, we're going to have to get ourselves some Terra Steel. We're going to get back into some more Britannia. I can actually go ahead and break this. We don't need it anymore. This still will build it, given that you have the stuff. So like I said, if you want to grab somebody else's build off of, I think Direwolf has some stuff on his Discord. So if you go on his Discord, I think he's got a section there for the template manager and stuff you can copy. Be weary though. I think some stuff may not transfer properly between 112 and 114. So keep that in mind. But 114 to 114 stuff should do just fine. And if you want to build it in Create or build it in Creative in a new world, in a different world, and use items that are in the same mod pack, you can do that. And you can copy it. And then when you go into your world like this, without going into Creative and stuff, you can build it with these blocks. And even if you don't have the blocks available, let's take a look at building gadgets. You can create some of this this construction paste. And this construction paste will basically act as a block. It's really weird. You put it in a paste container and it basically will it'll make blocks that, say if you have a bunch of diamond blocks and you don't actually have the diamond blocks, it'll still build the blocks looking like diamonds, but instead it'll be made of this construction paste. So it's really cool. It's almost like a facade type thing. But guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video a huge thumbs up. Guys, I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video, and as always, thanks for watching. And if you're still here, guys, I just want to say thank you to all the Patreons this year. It has been absolutely amazing. I couldn't do it without you guys. And here's a wonderful list of all those Patreons who are actively supporting. Guys, I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much.